Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a very bizarre experiment that happened way back in 1974. Before me going into the details, let us go into the video. This experiment that I'm talking about was done by an artist named Marina in Naples way back in 1974. The whole idea behind this experiment was to see how a human mind could react or act given the freedom that they could do anything with an object. So here, Marina became the object herself. Her body she displayed to be the object that people could do any experiment with. And the description that read was, I am an object. You can do whatever you want with me. I will take all responsibility for 6 hours. So this experiment was for 6 hours and this was known as Rhythm Zero. So in these 6 hours, Marina became the object on which people could experiment anything, and on the table on the art gallery was placed 72 objects. Like there were different objects, there were like roses, bread, water, paint, even perfume. And also there were some dangerous objects also, like nails, hammer, chains, knife, blades, and even a revolver. So she went on to tell and take the responsibility to the audience that even if she is dead, she's not going to move, she's not going to react, and even she's not going to stop anybody from doing whatever they wanted to do. So that's how the experiment started, and she went on and she stood in the middle of the art gallery. Initially, people were a little curious because they couldn't believe that really this happening, one person becoming an object of an experiment. So everybody was curious, the onlookers were just watching, and initially it seems that nothing happened as such. But later, slowly as time passed, so people really thought that now they could try out something. So initially it was very smooth. Some of them just gave her some water, some sprayed perfume on her, some just gave roses to her and were just kind to her. But it was the experiment turned a kind of dirty or very annoying, what we can say, in the second and the third hour. That's what it was said. So what happened was people started turning violent in a way that one of them took a knife and cut her whole dress off, and then one of them even took a blade, cut in her body, and one and even cut her throat and suck her blood. So it seems that the mark in her neck is still there. And then when the experiment now really went on to be a little out of hand, so some even assaulted her physically, even sexually. They even assaulted her. Some put roses in her belly, thorns in her belly, and some even tried to touch her inappropriately. So now after so many years she came to a talk show and she said luckily their wives were around, but otherwise I didn't know what would the men would have done. So but still Marina did not give up. She didn't move, she didn't react. She just stood there taking in all the you know things that people were doing to her. So she just stood there, just letting them do, and I understand what a human mind could do given the freedom. So that was the whole idea. So she just stood there, and as the time went on, and there was suddenly a man who came by, who took the revolver, placed in her hand, and tried to shoot her. So that's when now the audience become a little divided when they see that one person who's so dedicated and want to complete the experiment, one section was trying to support her, and the other section of audience who were ready to do anything to a stranger because they had the freedom to do it. So assaulting her, touching her inappropriately. So all these went on, and there were some particular group of audience who were trying to protect her as well. So when this man who tried to come and shoot her and try put her finger and try to keep it in her head and try to shoot her, there was this section of audience who came and actually saved her. So like this it went on, and finally the 6 hours were over. Actually, when she started moving, they couldn't even face her. They couldn't even look into her eyes and they couldn't even confront her. So they really started running away from that place. And she slowly started looking around at all the people who had mercilessly assaulted her, because she herself had said that she is an object. So that's what her experiment was about, how a human mind could become so violent and so ugly given the freedom. So that was the whole experiment about Rhythm Zero. Now she came in a talk show and she tells that it still scares her how some, even one went on to suck her blood in her neck. So that's really scares her, and it proves that a human mind, what level a human mind could go given the freedom and nobody to stop you. Please do share in your comments about this particular video. Do share, like, and subscribe. Thank you.